One small frontier lord would father an empire spanning 3 continents. Around 1281, Osman inherited a modest beylik around Suut on a crumbling Byzantine frontier. The Seljuks were broken by the Mongols. Into this vacuum, ambition. A great tree grew from my chest, its branches sheltering nations. The sheikh said my sons would rule an empire. A small frontier emirate, one generation from kingdom to continent. Around 1324, Orhan inherits his father Osman's beylik, hemmed beside a fading Byzantium. In 1326, the city of Bursa surrenders after a long blockade, becoming his first true capital. I take Bursa and I make it mine. Mosques, a school, walls of stone. We are no longer wanderers. We govern. An empire crossed into Europe not by invasion, but by invitation. By the 1350s, the Ottomans under Orhan had grown from frontier raiders into a power-straddling Anatolia. Across the water lay a Byzantine empire torn by civil war and willing to hire Turkish swords. My father sends me as an ally, but the straits are crossed, and once we hold a fortress on European soil, no one will push us back. On the field of blackbirds, 2 empires bet everything on a single day. June 15, 1389. Sultan Murad's Ottoman host, tens of thousands strong, faced Prince Lazar's Serbian coalition across the Kosovo plain. The stakes, dominance over the Balkans. Tonight we choose the heavenly kingdom over the earthly one. Tomorrow we ride for our faith in our land, whatever God wills. They called him Lightning. He waged war on 2 continents at once. In 1389, Bayezid inherited an empire across Anatolia and the Balkans. Within a decade, he swallowed the Turkish beyliks, unifying Western Anatolia under Ottoman rule. I appear where my enemies least expect me. Europe and Asia tremble at once. No throne, no crown is beyond my reach. One battle, and the mightiest empire of its age nearly tore itself apart. In 1402, Sultan Bayezid the Thunderbolt was crushed and captured by Timur at Ankara. Within a year, he died in captivity. His 4 sons turned on each other, and for 11 years, the empire fractured into warring kingdoms. My brothers held cities and armies, but I held the faith of the religious leaders and the loyalty of the Janissaries. Patience would win what the sword alone could not. In 1402, the Ottoman Empire nearly died. Then one prince rebuilt it. Sultan Bayezid was crushed by Timur. His 4 sons tore the empire apart in a brutal 11-year civil war. Cities fell, the army split, and Europe circled the wound. I held the smallest land of all my brothers, so I gathered allies instead of armies. The Janissaries, the nobles, the holy men. I waited. For 1,000 years, no army could breach these walls. By 1453, the Byzantine Empire had shrunk to one fading city. Inside, 50,000 souls. Outside waited a determined 21-year-old sultan, Mehmed II. They call me inexperienced. They forget I have dreamed of this city since I was a boy. I will give Orban whatever he needs to cast the greatest cannons the world has seen. He seized the throne by executing his own family. They called him the Grim. In 1512, Selim the Grim took power, older than most sultans and in a hurry. To the east rose a rival, Shah Ismail of Safavid Persia, spreading rebellion among Ottoman Shia, cannon and janissary against horsemen. At Chaldron, the Shah fled wounded, and Tabriz was mine. In 1520, a 26-year-old sultan inherits an empire and remakes the world. At Mohacs in 1526, his armies shatter the Hungarian kingdom. King Louis falls. The road to Vienna opens and Europe trembles. Europe calls me the Magnificent. My people call me Kanuni, the lawgiver. I write my own justice, code by code. (1683), the most powerful empire on earth marches on Vienna. Over 150,000 soldiers and the elite Janissary Corps surrounded the city. 15,000 defenders held the walls. Engineers tunneled beneath the fortifications, packing them with gunpowder, blasting whole sections apart. Day after day, Vienna crumbled. Then an impossible alliance formed. King Jan III Sobieski of Poland led the relief force. Catholic and Protestant princes united, blessed by the Pope. Two brothers from Lesbos would seize command of the Mediterranean. Arouj and Huzur began as corsairs. When Arouj died in 1518, Huzur inherited his fleet and his feared name. As Hayreddin Barbarossa, he rose to lead the Ottoman navy. Suleiman names me Kapitan Pasha. I build shipyards, mount cannon on swift galleys, and forge a navy that fears no Christian fleet. By 1571, the Mediterranean had become an Ottoman lake. Cyprus had fallen. Christian Europe feared total naval collapse. Pope Pius V forged a desperate answer. The Holy League. Spain, Venice, the Papal States, united at last, commanded by a charismatic young prince. I am 24, and I command the greatest Christian fleet since the Crusades. Today, the sea decides who rules it. In 1683, Ottoman banners reached the gates of Vienna. Then the empire began to retreat. Pope Innocent Gummershoins forged the Holy League. Austria, Poland, Venice, and Russia united against the Ottoman tide. My winged hussars charged from the heights. We came, we saw, and God conquered the Ottoman host. For 12 years, an empire built on war fell in love with a flower. After the Treaty of Passarowitz in 1718, peace replaced battle. Sultan Ahmed III and his Grand Vizier, Ibrahim Pasha, turned the court toward beauty, art, and European refinement. Let the gardens bloom and the festivals shine. We have known enough of swords. Now we will know wonder. By the 1830s, the Ottoman Empire was crumbling. Defeat surrounded the Sultan. On November 3, 1839, in the Rose Garden of Topkapi, a 16-year-old sultan proclaimed the noble edict of Gulhan: life, honor, and property guaranteed to all subjects, Muslim, Christian, and Jew alike. I am young, but I see clearly. The empire survives only if every subject is shielded by law, not by birth or by faith. By 1908, the Ottoman Empire was dying, the sick man of Europe. Sultan Abdulhamid II ruled by censorship and secret police, but young officers, educated in Paris and Vienna, organized in secret. They called themselves the Committee of Union and Progress, the Young Turks. We carry the empire's last hope: liberty, equality, justice, or the empire falls. The Sultan rules by fear. We will rule by the Constitution. They called it the sick man of Europe. The war would bury it. August 1914. Enver Pasha gambles the empire's survival on a secret alliance with Germany. By October, Ottoman guns fire on Russian ports, and there is no turning back. Fronts open everywhere. The frozen Caucasus swallows 80,000 men. At Gallipoli, British and Anzac forces storm the beaches, hunting for Constantinople itself. An empire crumbles. One officer refuses to let his nation die with it. By 1914, the Ottoman Empire, the old sick man of Europe, gambled on Germany in the Great War. Defeat broke it utterly. At Gallipoli, I told my men, I am not ordering you to attack. I am ordering you to die. November 1922, a 600-year dynasty has hours left to live. The Ottoman Empire, once stretching from Vienna to Yemen, lay broken by World War I. Allied warships filled the harbor of occupied Constantinople. The Sultan was now a puppet, but from the ashes of defeat, a general rose in Ankara. Sovereignty belongs to no sultan. It belongs to the nation, taken by force if it must be. Ankara, not Istanbul, speaks for the Turkish people now.